Famous saying that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Well, last week we definitely got punched in the mouth, and I think it's time for us to respond. And I think we're going to respond well. But first of all, I want to welcome everybody to the DNVR Broncos pregame show presented by Coors Light. You can get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. If you're looking to choose chill, check out Coors Light. And remember to celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Now the 5-4 Denver Broncos take on the undefeated Chiefs. And, you know, this is not an easy task that we have in front of us. The Chiefs have been playing good football. They've been winning a lot of close games. How do we manufacture a win against these Chiefs?
This one of those, being consistent out there, we got to step up to the plate this week. This is one of those weeks where we know that they're going to capitalize on mistakes. And when you make as many mistakes as we did last week, 8, 9, 10 penalties in a game, the Chiefs are going to capitalize on those. So this is about cleaning up and just making sure we just don't have that many mistakes in the game going in early, one, and then trying to contain and keep Patrick Mahomes in that box. Mm-hmm. I think the more he gets around and starts scrambling is when we start getting in our panic mode, you get into that scramble drill, and, you know, they start letting these guys go. And we got a good chance on offense to get out there and, you know, offensive line, that's going to be a big day today. You know, we're going to have to keep Bo clean, get that run game going. They got a pretty good defense over there that can, you know, keep this team in good battles. So it's going to be up to our offense to also put some points on the board.
Yeah, I would agree. This is a game is how good are we situationally? I think that's how good the Chiefs are. In situations, they're phenomenal. You know what I mean? Especially there in the red zone, they'll get some points on the board. So I think that's one of the keys. You know what I mean? Is being really, really good and fundamental in our situations. But then at the same time, keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, man. Let's just keep him off the field. You know what I mean? But so that starts with our offense, right? Keeping these long drives going. No 3-and-outs. We need 10-play drives. We need 12-play drives. Lead to points. If that's not touchdowns, field goals. Yep. But at the same time, you got to own that, what is it, possession? What is that? What is it, field possession? Whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Possession.
You want to be able to keep him off the field, man.
For sure.
Let's keep him off the field, you know what I mean? And score. You know what I mean? We're going to have to put more than, I think, 10 points on the board like we did last week. I think we got to be able to score the ball, man. So I think it's a lot of things. We mentioned it last week that, you know, this could be a great game for the Broncos because, like, you know, Chiefs are coming into this game undefeated. You're coming off a big loss like you did last week. And this could kind of energize you as a team, you know, going against a great team as the Chiefs are. You know what I mean? That you want to be that first team to break that 0 streak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
You'd be like, yo, we could beat them. And they can beat them. So.
And it's like one of those perfect times for the Chiefs to get ready to lose, right?
Yeah,
Like you said, great midpoint of the season.
That's what I'm saying.
It's time for them to take an L and, you know, somebody else to get up here and start, you know, pin a run and see who is going to be the ones to compete with the Chiefs. That's what it seemed like it's looking like for this season.
Yep.
Who's going to be able to compete with them and knock them out of the run of the playoffs? Denver going to have to do that if they think they got a chance at a championship this year.
So let's dive a little bit deeper into this game. Before we go any further, I got to tell you who we are. We got my man Jurrell Casey over here,
Boom.
Todd Davis in the middle, the one and only Knowshon Moreno to my right. And let's talk about this game and, like, what it means for the Denver Broncos. Like, what's at stake? Like, you know, the Broncos will stay the 7th seed and be in the playoff picture as long as the Colts lose to the Bills, which, you know, they're heavy underdogs today, so we think they're going to happen. So win or lose, the Broncos should be the 7th seed in this game. But the good thing about it is if they do win this game, there's a real possibility that we could be in the push to win the AFC West. If we lose this game, we've already lost to the Chargers. It's kind of like cut and dry that we're probably not going to be in the running for the AFC West. Does that put a little bit more pressure on this game? I know it's already a divisional rival, but you talk about the ability to win your division and, you know, you're only a game and a half back from the leaders in the division. If you win this game, like, what does that mean to a team?
I think it means a lot. This goes back to what we've been talking about all year, right? This is when we need Bo and the defense and Cortland to now become those core guys and the core group of the team to step up to the plate.
For sure.
Because this is where that turnover, get over the hump moment is at. We beat the Chiefs where give them their first loss of the season. We still got another game coming up, I believe, against the Chargers, right?
Yep.
And we beat them. That put us in real comfortable positioning going into the playoff run where we weren't looking for a young quarterback to turn it on and to be a push for the future. This is your time to do it this year. And like I was saying, with the development he's been showing and the growth he's been gaining throughout the season, I think this is the perfect time to say, hey, we had a bummer last week. That's not who we are. Let's slow it down a little bit. Get our guy, get these tight ends involved.
Yep.
Get the run game back going. Let Bo get into some play action and get a crisp offense rolling for this dude. And let your defense get back into a good rhythm of, like you're saying, time of possession.
Yeah.
Getting your defense rest and letting them go out there and play the best ball possible.
Please.
I mean, it's funny though, because a lot of people are not putting a lot of stakes in this game or a lot into this game.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of people thought that they would win versus Baltimore or the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So it's mixed feelings, I think, when it comes to these games. But, it's a big game for both teams, really. If the Chiefs win this one, they're going into the next week, I think it's versus Buffalo, and that's to lock everything up. You know what I'm saying? So can they be looking for forward? Maybe not, but I don't think they're looking past the Broncos. You know what I mean? And it's just a big game, both sides. But at the end of the day, man, what you mentioned, Jurrell, man, we got to get this offense going. You know what I mean? I don't care what the defense does. It still has to look good on the offensive side for me. You know what I mean? And make these games close. Let's not make it one of those games like it was last week. If we would have scored 20-something points last week, it would have looked better. We would have felt a little better. So hopefully this game, it looks better, and maybe we can get a win. So.
Yeah, it's important for this game to start looking how we want the next seasons to go. Because I always feel like success in the NFL is like a stepping stool. Like, you don't just go from being, 4-12 or 4-13 to winning the Super Bowl the next year. Like, you have a pretty good year, you go, one game over 500. Then the next year you make the playoffs, but you lose in the first round. Then you make it to the third round, and then that next year, like, okay, now it's our time to push for a Super Bowl. Let's go and get this thing. I think if we can make a playoff push this year, even if we lose in the first round, that takes a whole nother year off of our ability to get to the mountaintop. So
Definitely.
This is a big game for the Broncos, and it's a big game for the Chiefs. They want to remain undefeated. So the Broncos need to do what they can to get a win. I know I'm feeling like they can win. I don't know if it's because I started off with some tequila and lemonade to start my day. Knowshon got an old-fashioned in the morning. It's
These boys are
10:30.
getting right. There's not been healthy Coloradians.
10:30 old-fashioned.
Just
I think he's preparing for a good day, no matter what. But let's talk about these quarterbacks. I wanted to read off some stats to you guys and tell me who's Patrick Mahomes, and you guys tell me who is Bo Nix.
Stop it.
No, look.
We all know that Mahomes is not having a great year.
Let me read the stats.
Let's see it.
Statistically,
And we
he
guess
ain't playing
who's
well.
who.
But go ahead.
You got to guess who's who.
All right, let's do it.
All right, the first
It's so
quarterback
funny, man.
has 1,753 yards, 13 total touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
That's Bo.
The next quarterback has 1,942 yards, 12 total touchdowns, and 9 interceptions.
Yeah.
Who is who?
Bo is the first guy, 6 interceptions.
You talking about the guy with more touchdowns and less interceptions?
That's the guy.
Did you know that?
Who's playing
Yeah.
heck of a season.
You knew that.
Mahomes is not having statistically a great season, but that doesn't, negate the fact that he's great. You know
So
what
I'm saying whatever Bo is bringing to the table right now is less than what Mahomes is bringing to the table.
No,
But
how many games was that in?
what you mean it's the same amount of games?
I feel like they're over 1,000 now.
What?
I think Mahomes is over 1,000 now.
Oh, I'm talking about this year. I'm not talking about his lifetime.
No, I'm talking about this year. But all right, go ahead.
You
I don't
said-
know,
Yeah,
maybe.
He has
900 sounds like
1900.
1900. Oh, 1900.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1900. Not
Yep,
900.
yep.
1900.
So
Yeah. So good year. You having a good year.
it's a good year. But I think this game, just like the NFL, is like quarterback driven. How does Bo Nix outperform
So what
Patrick
you're,
Mahomes?
What you're saying, if Bo Nix was on the Chief right now, they would still be undefeated.
I'm saying if
Pretty
we're
much.
just going stats for stats.
Pretty much.
Stats.
There's 3
Pretty much.
interceptions more than Patrick Mahomes had. I don't know if those were touchdowns or they gave the other team points. But it feels like the team
Pretty much.
would be
They scored the
undefeated
same
still.
amount of points so far.
So what is it then?
It goes to what we're saying. Your core guys have to step up to the plate. If we can't let our running back score, where the extra points come from?
The Chiefs aren't. Their running back Kareem Hunt's not doing well
Where
this
the rest
season
of,
either.
where the rest of the
He's
points
doing
come
well.
from?
They're
He's not. He's in the middle. He's below Javonte, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
But
So
they're,
where the
but
rest
they're
of the
toting
points
rock
coming
so
from?
often. That's the thing.
So
They're
where's the rest of
running
the
ball
points
like
coming
30
from to
times a
win the game?
It's coming from them converting and scoring in the red zone. They're scoring.
So,
Every one of
can
their
we get the
games, that
stats
close
on
game, they've been
Pacheco
over 20
and,
points.
other running
pretty
backs over
much.
there?
So Pacheco's injured, but let me tell you, so
Yeah, Pacheco's injured. They got a lot of injury.
I'll-
But before he got
injured.
hurt, he was scoring touchdowns.
for sure.
That's where the points got to come from, right?
Y'all funny, man.
So you have to have.
So who y'all blaming then? So I want to know who y'all blaming then.
What I'm saying is we have to have the rest of our core, our run game. Let me just our run game. We'll go back to our run game. It have not showed up this season. It has been terrible. We cannot get a guy in the end zone nor across the 50-yard line to save our life to help out our offense, and it has been minute all season long.
All right, let me think. Let me read a little bit deeper. What you're really telling me is that Andy Reid is a better coach than Sean Payton.
I don't think we brought up anything about coaches.
And then not one bit.
Well,
And-
if you're saying the players, if you're saying you can swap players and it would look different, then you're saying
we're
that's what
running.
you're saying.
We're running
What
kind
you
of.
saying?
I am saying that they are finding a way sometimes to do more with less than we have. I think before DeAndre Hopkins came on, they were a very depleted team and running 13 personnel, which is one running back, 3 tight ends, because they had to. They didn't have a wide receiver, and they were finding ways to win. So I'm not saying he's a better coach, but I am saying the game plans he's been putting together have
be
been
well.
nice.
Just Andy Reid, period, over his time of playing football, right? Not playing football, coaching. He draws up plays that when you go into a game plan, you be like, oh, teams run the same thing year to year, right? Andy Reid's probably like the one team that you go in there, you be like, they coming out with something new.
Yeah.
You know they drawing up something new year in and year out. So I think when it comes to knowing how to dial up an offense, Andy Reid always has a scheme.
Exactly.
He always have a crazy scheme. Now, when it comes to the actual weapons or whatnot, he might not have that all the way, but he's going to get his players involved. That's the thing. He's going to get everybody involved.
And
So-
people forget they've been good for a little while. Like, I hate
good
picking up
while.
the Chiefs, but just gotta be honest about it. But like, Patrick Mahomes has never went 9-0 before, and Andy Reid has already done that as the Chiefs head coach with Alex Smith as his quarterback. He's already went 9-0. So this is a big game for the Broncos. Like, he's a good offensive coordinator, but the Broncos have to do what they need to stop him. And for me, I feel like it's taking away his weapons. Like, Patrick Mahomes is going to extend plays. He's going to find ways to get the ball down the field, but you have to take away DeAndre Hopkins now and Travis Kelce. I think if you can take those two guys away, if you beat us some other way, if Kareem Hunt goes off and runs for 130, which nobody wants him to do, like, we'll concede.
How do
I don't
we
see
do
that
that?
happening.
Is that in man? So what you're telling me is let's get back to the old Broncos
For sure.
like the first couple games, and let's bring pressure, play man, and let's say, hey, beat us. That's what you're saying, because we can't drop back in zone versus. I don't think Denver's zone defense is very that good anyway. So I mean, and you can't do that versus Mahomes.
Yeah.
And so send pressure, man. And I feel like you can't even say when you put pressure on Mahomes that kind of makes him uncomfortable. I think he's
Not one
comfortable. It makes him comfortable anywhere. He can escape if he has to, make passes on the run. So it's really putting pressure on him and making him make those decisions quick and doing that in man coverage probably.
I think that's
that-
100% it. Like,
Okay.
we have the DBs to match up with their wide receivers.
Right.
And then also Brandon Jones, last year when he played for the Dolphins, when they were in that playoff game early this year, he locked up Travis Kelce for a majority of the game. Travis had 70 yards the entire game. Most of it wasn't on Brandon Jones. But, I mean, even if we were going into this game, if Travis Kelce has 70 yards, I'm okay. Like, I think that's a good day for the Broncos. So I think there's just clear matchups across the board where we do well in man coverage. And that's what the Broncos do well in. Last week, played way too much zone.
There's a lot of zone.
Way too much zone. And I think that's what hurt us. That's why you had guys running scot-free, deep across the middle. Like, it just didn't feel like Broncos defense.
Why do you think they was playing a lot more zone last week compared to what they man pressure most of the season?
I think
It has to be because of Lamar Jackson's legs and what he can do. It has to be, right?
Yeah.
So
'cause
why would you think it'd be any different this week? Because Patrick Mahomes can get around there and scramble, move around also.
he can move around, but I think you're more so worried about Patrick moving around and extending a play by throwing it in the air. I think Lamar Jackson at any point he can take off.
Definitely.
And that's a little bit. I think that's a little bit harder to catch.
And I think that's what hurt him last week because he didn't take off.
No, he didn't.
He stayed there and he just found those zones.
Yeah.
And he hit them. So that's going to be a little tougher when you have a quarterback who actually can destroy his own defense. So it's going to be interesting to see if they come out and see if they play that zone or man, because if they don't make an adjustment quick, he's going to pick them apart, right? Because when you sitting guys on these pressure, you're leaving open big, wide open space. And the one thing that the Chiefs does a great job is sitting in zones. But we do a great job of, I think our defense and our DBs do a good job of plastering players. They do a good job of not letting guys get separation. So this is going to be one of those big weeks where Patrick Surtain and the rest of the guys step up to the plate and see if they can. Because did they end up benching Moss or did they bring him back in? What they going to do?
No. Moss is playing. I think that the only change that they're making is Devin Key will probably be out now that PJ Locke is back.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be a big boost for the team. I think Devin was playing good ball. I think he had an off week last week. Everybody has him, but I think, just for everybody's being comfortable, I think PJ Locke will be a big added boost back to the team. Before we go any further, I got to tell you
don't
about
play
our friends.
zone. I hear you out there. We don't want to play zone against Patrick Mahomes.
Not at all. I got to tell you, our friends over at Coors Light, between work and children and family and everything, life can be stressful. So if you want to choose chill, make sure you check out our friends over at Coors Light. And you know that Coors Light is ready for the crew when the mountains turn blue. Those are Rocky Mountains on there. And they let you know exactly when it's ready to drink. It is made cold. It was brewed cold. And it's always cold for you. So you got to check them out. And if you want Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart, you can go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. You can celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company in Golden, Colorado. Now, we talked about man versus zone, and I think everybody here feels like they should play more man
Definitely.
than zone.
Definitely.
And now when we talk about, that's our defense. But when we talk about the Chiefs' defense, I'd rather than play zone. I want to give our young receivers opportunities because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm Spagnolia. I'm the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. I'm doubling Cortland, manning up everybody else. You beat me.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see you do it.
That's definitely got to be their game plan over there, right? Especially with the defensive line they have over there that can get after the quarterback with Chris Jones and those guys rushing off the edge. But I think that's going to be the biggest thing. We'd rather see them in zone and let Bo sit back there a little bit and let those guys try to get a little bit of sit-down routes. I don't think we have been doing a good job of getting separation.
Yeah.
I don't really think the Chiefs' DBs are really that great. So this can be one of those weeks where our receivers definitely can turn it on and show that they ready to turn on into the second half of the season and carry this offense, because without the receivers and tight ends getting involved and pinning touchdowns on the board, it look like we ain't going to get touchdowns because Bo Nix can't do it himself. So we're going to need these guys for sure. And I think this is the week for our receivers and them guys to really step up and get that separation from DBs, get Bo some easy targets, run the game, get rolling, and really start, executing the offense for sure.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's a couple things for me. It's first of all funny that we're like, hey, just play zone for our quarterback. Just do that, man, please. You know what I mean? Hey, I've never been around a franchise quarterback that you were begging for zone so much. But no, y'all putting a lot of it's not even pressure, but y'all talking about the defense a lot. Defense. But bro, it comes really down to this offense and being able to put points on the board, like you mentioned.
For sure.
So I want to see something from them at the end of the day. When it comes to this Chiefs defense, it kind of reminds me of the Broncos defense. Like, you got one big name, Patrick Surtain, and then you got a couple other guys where it's like, well, who are these guys? But they play really well.
Well.
It's the same thing with the Chiefs. Chris Jones,
yeah.
But then you look at
the rest of them.
Oh, the rest of the people, you're like, who are these guys? But they know how to play complementary football. They know how to play. With the defenses, when the offense is down, they make a big play, and vice versa. So it really reminds me of the Broncos defense, and we got to score points on them, man. They're definitely acceptable in the pass game. They do really well, just like the Ravens did last week. I think they do well in the run game.
Yeah.
Especially
second
with Chris
best team
Jones.
in the run, yep.
Right, second best team in the run game. So once again, This is a game for the receivers and the quarterbacks and just the offense in general to hurt them in the air.
Yeah.
We have to. They have to put something together to put points on the board, especially in the red zone. And the defense I think they're gonna get a pick today. I think we're gonna be able to make Mahomes make another error like he has been this year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so we got to take advantage of that. So let's see if we do it today and take advantage of that turnover. I think it's going to happen. So it's just that y'all talking a lot about the defense, man, but when I think it's really about the offense and keeping Mahomes off the field.
No,
I
agree. You have to have like sustained drives. Like it can't be 3 and outs.
Sorry,
5 and
guys,
outs.
just to cut y'all off real quick.
Tell me
I'm just
something.
looking at the fan chat right here, and we're talking about Josie Joe, my dog, ex-Bronco. We're talking about how great of a player he is this year
why
so
y'all
far.
using the great
and
word,
there
though?
you go,
He's a good player.
another fumble recovery after the interception.
He did?
Yeah, he's out there balling right now.
I mean, it's just the words that y'all use sometimes.
Okay, we'll say good.
Like quarterback,
Okay, so
Okay.
great.
quarterback
You can't say
battle.
good
It's like,
anymore.
is this
He's
really
real
a
good.
battle?
It is a battle. It doesn't mean it's
It's just a
doesn't-
matchup.
No, it's a battle. It's not, David and Goliath was a battle. They're not both have to be Goliaths. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we'll see.
right.
So how does the offense manufacture more yards through the air? Is it just leaning on Cortland Sutton and he can't have 100 yards? He has to have 200 yards? Or does Vele and Troy Franklin and Bo have to finally connect? Does Adam Troutman have to go for 100 yards? Like what does this team need to do to be better?
We've been talking about this all year, that the younger guys got to step up, but it seems like they disappear in some of these games. Same thing with our tight ends. We talk about, we want to see the tight ends, but sometimes they disappear. So at the end of the day, man, yes, it's going to have to come down to Sutton having 100 and over, in reception, in yards. And it seems like Bo and Sutton are kind of connected now. They're kind of learning
For
each
sure.
other out a little bit. So yes, let's keep that connection going, right? And then at the end of the day, man, Bo, just run. Do what you've been doing, man. It ain't there. Run, do it with your legs, keep these drives going to keep Mahomes off the field. But we've been looking for these younger guys to step up, so of course we need them all. And yeah, the run game hasn't been it's been
invisible.
non-existent.
Yeah, for
right,
sure.
Exactly. So I can't even say, let's get the run game going. No, nah. Let's get the pass game going, get something running, and then Bo, just do it with your legs when it ain't there. That's what we're gonna have to result to.
I agree. I think that's what the offense needs to do, and I think we need some turnovers and takeaways. Last year we beat the Chiefs. It was only because we had 5 turnovers. It wasn't a close game at the end of the score, but I think that if you want to battle the Chiefs with a team that doesn't have all the pieces to win your Super Bowl, you have to be able to take the ball away. And we all know that turnover margin is huge when it comes to winning and losing football games. So defense has to take the ball away today.
That's really going to be the biggest key to this game is how much can we keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, get by key plays. And it's going to come down to this defense really shutting them down. And if we can't do that, it's going to be a long day. And short field position is what helps a struggling offense,
For
right?
sure.
And that's what Bo needs. And not just Bo, this run game. I'm going to keep going back to it. This run game needs to short field to start getting rolling. And we can't, like I always say, man, let's go, Sean, dial up the play action. We can't dial up play action when we can't run the ball.
All right,
So
let's put 20 on this. Who has
20
the most?
on what?
Who has the most rushing yards
On the Broncos?
On the Broncos today.
who has the most rushing yards?
Yes.
Bo Nix.
And that's a great one.
I got
That's a
20 on
great
Bo
one.
Nix.
You going Bo?
Yeah.
That's a great pick.
I'm not gonna go Bo. I'm gonna go Estime.
Are you switching it up?
I'm gonna
You
just
go
take a shot in the dark.
You take a shot in the dark.
Who you
Sean
going
said he's
with?
supposed to get more love. We'll see.
And that's so crazy that we all don't know who that's going to be. You know what I mean?
That's the bad
wild
part,
to me.
right?
Like, that's what I'm saying.
They're
So
terrible.
I
But
don't know.
We get there. And it's really just guys more so trusting to hold on to the football. Then they're so worried about fumbling and getting pulled out the game right now that they're not getting in their grooves of playing in the game. So I think a lot of that killing ourselves of fumbling the ball is hurting our run game right now.
And that's interesting. Williams in the chat said that. That's probably right. He said when Bo gets the most rushing yards, we tend to lose. That's kind of interesting because you think about it. If he's getting the most rushing yards, that means he's scrambling, he's running.
Yeah,
for his
we're
life.
not designing runs for him
Not
all day
one
long.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, man.
So he's manufacturing those by not seeing anybody open and starting to run. But, we got to get into our game changers real quick. We all picked a player who we felt like would be a game changer. And you've been talking about it a lot, so I'm going to bring up my guy first. Shout out to Bo Nix, my game changer. I think it's going to have to be Bo's game. Like, the defense is going to have to play well, but if we're going to win this football game, we have to do it through Bo Nix. I mean, only 2 teams have scored over 21 points against the Chiefs all year long. So it's going to be an important game for Bo, and if he can get over that 21-point mark, I'm hoping that the defense can, limit the Chiefs to 21 points. So that's my goal, is that Bo Nix leads this team, gets them over 21 points, and he's our game changer.
There we go. And I know I didn't really necessarily go with one person.
He always does this.
This week was different for me.
Every
As you
week.
can hear what I'm talking about, this week was different. So I went with the O-line, because O-line can't necessarily have one person.
Okay.
So the game changer this week going to be O-line. I'm believing that we get over this threshold and we can be able to run the
You
ball
could have
this
picked
week.
Forsythe.
Man, we're going to need the whole squad for this week, dog. We're going to have to be able to run left, right, down the middle, pitch, toss, whatever he dial up.
Yeah.
Let's get this ball rolling, dude, for our offense to get really steamrolling. And let Bo become the quarterback he can really become. Let somebody else carry the weight, and that's got to be our running backs. And I'm expecting that this week, and our O-line going to make sure they do it.
So what's the measuring stick for that? How do we know the O-line were the game changers of the game? How do we...
So what I'm saying, so I got you. So because I thought about it. So I'm going. We say we get 125 yards rushing, and we give up probably one and a half some sacks. I'm thinking today they can hold Chris Jones in check.
Okay,
and I can see somebody doubling up on a half sack. But I say we hold him in check. 1.5. I say 1.5 sacks. I don't see Bo getting sacked like that. Bo does a great job escaping the pocket.
With
125 yards rushing, 1.5 sacks.
That might be the most they've given the ball season.
That's a game changer day. Now, if they don't do that, we getting our ass kicked.
Yeah.
Sorry. We getting our tail kicked.
Oh, man. All right.
That's fair.
I guess it's fair. We're going to see. I like it, man. For me, man, I went with Patrick Surtain, man. I think if we can limit that side, like one side of the field all day for Mahomes, and make him have to just go to Kelce or go to a different side where Patrick Surtain is not, that'd be a good day for us, man. So, and they just, got a new toy over there with D Hop that seems like he's starting to roll after these couple of games, right? So, if we could shut him down, I think it'd be a better game for us. So that's. I don't know how. I guess we can measure that by getting a pick by Surtain or
No.
D-Hop
The defense is a game changer. That's like 2 picks. That's like shutdown day. That's one pick in a game is not a game changer.
2 picks is hard. I think 1 pick is equal to like at least a sack and a half. Or 2 sacks. 1 pick is way harder.
Is it?
People get
Jurrell,
sacks every game.
Y'all tell me, chat. Is it
comes from the D tackle, though.
Especially if you're Patrick,
goodness.
you're not going to get targeted. So getting 1 pick is even harder. So it should be how many
1
yards
pick
you
on
allow.
5 targets.
I'm
is
pretty
for
much
sure.
going to win today because Surtain
I don't know. I think that's why, the
Y'all
DBs,
We gonna see.
it's a lot on their plate. They get a lot of targets at them, They get a lot of opportunities at the ball.
But how many times every time the quarterback throws, you get an opportunity to get a sack.
Exactly.
But
every time the ball's in the air, you get the opportunity to come up with a pick.
no, because you have to target the guy that I'm on.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So it's a little different.
Yeah,
so
I take that.
those are our game
Y'all too
changers, and
funny,
you guys
bro.
let us know. I think you say we got 20 on it. Who?
20 on it?
Yeah, 20.
No. We
That
got
was
20
for
on.
rushing.
We got
That
20
was-
on the rushing.
Who's going to be the
Okay.
We got 10 on the
Rushing.
game changer. 10 push-ups on the
So-
game changer.
Push-ups or dollars?
Push-up. We do push-ups. Game
10
changers do
push-ups.
push-ups.
Well,
10
those are our
push-ups for
game
the
changers.
game
Make sure you guys tune into the post-game show. Let us know, who you guys felt like was the game changer. Before we head out of here, I got to tell you about the Bet365 pregame pick segment presented by Bet365. You can download the Bet365 app and use code DNVR365. Deposit $10 and place a bet of $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And you get a code to get the 2 first months of Altitude Plus, courtesy of Bet365. You must be 21 and older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. So, got a couple picks for you guys, and we feel like these picks will help you guys make some money. I want to make some money myself. So, the first one is 6 receptions for Courtland Sutton is plus 235. He has done this over 3 times this year, and he has done it in the past 2 games, back-to-back games. So, I think he had 8 receptions one game, 7 receptions the next. So I think 6 receptions is right on par with the way that Sean Payton is using Cortland, and that team is utilizing his ability to catch the ball.
Not even just that, just the rhythm that him and Bo is getting into the last couple of weeks has been beautiful to see. And, you can see them on the sideline talking, communicating. So I just think this is that week where they start getting into a rhythm, and he probably going to have 10 to 12 some targets this week. And I can't see Sutton dropping those many targets. So definitely that's a great pick, y'all. Put that one in.
Let's go. Next one is Zach Allen to have a sack anytime. It's plus 180. It's been 2 weeks since Zach has recorded a sack. And then last week, unfortunately, he had zeros across the board. He didn't have a stat in any category. And I know for a dominant player like him, that would frustrate you and have you prepared and ready to take on the next game.
He said Zach.
No. The thing is, I feel you. That happened to me before.
Tell us
I know they know about this game. It was my first game back from being transformed, being vegan. I thought I was going to go into the season. I'm playing against retired Marshawn Lynch. He comes out of retirement. He's been in Oakland. It's his homecoming year. First game of the season against us. So I'm out here we about to go get it. Dude, what I talk about, come out of that with zeros across the board. And then on top of that, at least that came out, 0 on top of the board came out scathed clean.
Exactly.
I got 0 across the board with a truck stick.
Oh, dang.
I mean, when the headset start going off crazy, was that your case? I'm like, dog, what just happened? I'm over there going nuts. But nah, Zach is okay, buddy. We're going to bounce back this week for sure.
Yeah, this is his game to respond. I think it's his game to respond. I think he'll do that. Last one is estimate. Anytime touchdown is plus 500.
That's
now,
crazy.
estimate has not gotten in the end zone, so that's why it's plus 500. But Sean Payton says he's going to get more targets. He averaged the most yards per carry last week. Even though they were at the end of the game, I think this is a good game for Estimate to start getting his feet wet, hold on to the football, and I think he'll find a way to get into the end zone, get that bet right there, and that'll do it for us for the pregame show.
Todd got some money on Estimate. I see that 500 plus.
You know what I'm saying? You make you some good money. Check us out on the postgame show. It's going to be a great time. We'll be joined by my friend, the Colorado kid. What's his name? Philip Lindsay.
What's his name? Philip, Big Philly.
No, that's my guy, Philip Lindsay. He'll come and join us for the post-game show.
Bro.
If anybody knows about holding on to football, he doesn't have fumbles as a Denver Bronco. Really talented running back. And maybe him and Knowshon finally get on the same page. Knowshon have another ally on the offensive side of the ball. But
right now.
come check us out,
He
man,
need help,
on
guys.
the post-game show. Enjoy the game.
Sir.
We all silly like the mayor.